Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit more about insulin resistance. We started this series last month. Actually, we started it back in October and we're about to go into December, and I want to expand a little bit more on this because we've talked about what insulin resistance is, the hormones, the cycle by which sugar or carbohydrates get broken down into the body and how that works. But I wanted to talk about the solution, and I'm going to do a couple of videos on why this is so awesome, because I work with a lot of people who are doing a lot right. Whether they've already changed their diet, they've already targeted their nutrition, they're working closely with us. And some people, though, just have a really hard time fixing the insulin resistance portion of this. And because of that, they have a hard time losing weight, or they have a hard time keeping weight off, or they have a hard time balancing hormones. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the hormone connection because I think that's really important. So back in the end of September, we partnered with a company who specializes in enzymes. And it's what they do. It's what they do best. It's what they are known for, is being a leader in cutting edge enzyme science. And based on that, they've been researching enzymes, different types of enzymes for different things, digestive enzymes, proteolytic enzymes, you name it. And they found research that Harvard had been doing for a decade on enzymes that technically, for lack of a better term, convert the glucose molecule into strings of carbohydrate, which in turn is actually fiber. And what this means is that the glucose molecules don't get absorbed into the bloodstream. So therefore they cannot trigger insulin. They cannot cause that cycle of insulin, leptin, ghrelin, or the insulin spike and drop. And so it helps to stabilize blood sugar. It helps people who have insulin issues. It helps people who have problems losing weight. It helps people who have problems with hormonal weight gain or fluctuations in hormones or difficulty with hormone balance. This includes metabolic disorders like diabetes, prediabetes, high blood pressure, and high triglyceride levels, which are caused by excess carbohydrate in the bloodstream and lead to inflammatory and metabolic problems. So, on that note, this little black bottle is my new best friend, because in conjunction with the other things that we do, the assessment, the customized nutrition, helping people understand how to change their diets, making their lifestyle the best that it can be, this is a supportive product that acts as a stepping stool. It's a tool. It's something that helps us help you get to your goal faster, easier, without the frustration that so many of you know. And it's very simple. It's 1 to 2 capsules, 30 minutes before every time you eat. And it's going to go to work in the gut. It's going to stay in the small intestine where that glucose gets broken down into or where carbohydrates gets broken down into glucose, the smallest molecule that they can. And then that enzyme is going to sit there and it's going to wait, and it's going to start to restring that glucose and bind it back together. So it has to pass through the colon instead of being absorbed into the bloodstream. This is huge. And so I want to tell you a little bit of a story, because we have so many testimonials and so many people who've been using it and seeing success and getting ahead in so many ways, including monitoring their blood glucose levels. This includes people who've eaten keto, who've eaten carnivore, who eat a standard American diet. There's a multitude of people who have benefit from the way that this enzyme blend works. It also has a natural thermogenic, so it helps to burn stored fat in addition to preventing additional fat deposits, which come from excess carbohydrate because of insulin. So what doesn't get used as energy gets stored as fat, and this prevents that from happening. So, but I want to tell a little story because, well, a couple little stories, because I think that they're important and I can still keep this video quite short. First of all, I'm going to use myself as an example because I do everything right? I eat right. I exercise. I focus on sleep and stress management, all the things, but I'm human. And I have 3 teenagers. I don't always get the right amount of sleep. I don't always have the ability to manage my stress very well. And I have adrenal issues caused by excess cortisol from how I manage my stress or don't. And because of this, I have a very hard time losing weight, and I plateau for long periods of time. And I've really been struggling post-COVID to get past the plateau that I was at. And this has really helped me over the last 2 months to let go of some of that excess weight that I didn't intentionally gain, and I didn't necessarily go off of a good lifestyle, but because of cortisol, I became more inflamed. I gained fat. My estrogen goes through the roof. My testosterone goes down. I have severe insulin resistance. And so this has really been a tool that has personally helped me. And in the 2 months that I've used it, which it's been, well, not quite 2 months, about a month and a half. So about 6 weeks. I have lost 8 pounds that I wasn't able to lose for the previous 2 years. So, I'm happy about that. And I know people think, what's 8 pounds, right? But then I have clients who've really struggled to lose weight, who have more weight to lose, who've lost 8 pounds in a week or two. I had a text message from a client the other day who really struggles with his weight, and he lost 8 pounds in 10 days. And this gave him hope. Now he's doing the other things, right? He's eating right. He's taking his supplements. He's getting out there and getting moving every day. He's doing the right things, but he wasn't getting the results until he added this. And now all of the pieces are coming together for him, and it's very exciting. On another note, I have someone who has PCOS who's very close to me, and her periods have always been irregular her entire life. She averages about 75 to 90 days between menses, and has been using the Transform now for 3 months. So we did get her an advanced bottle so that she could start it before it was actually available to the public. So she's been on it a little bit longer. And in that time, her period went from 75 days apart to 45 days apart to 28 days apart already in 90 days. And that's humongous for her. Like, that's never, ever even been on her radar that she would have a normal menstrual cycle. In addition to losing, she's lost about 10 pounds too. So the weight loss is going to come after we fix the other things, just like we do when we talk about diet. Weight loss isn't always the first thing that happens, especially for women. Men have a much easier time losing weight, but we've got to fix the underlying problems. And then another story, I went on a business trip, but it was a vacation too. I was gone for a week out of the country, and I don't eat bad, but I definitely ate differently than I do at home. I did have dessert, which I don't normally have. I don't have bread or any of that stuff, but I did drink alcohol, which I don't do when I'm at home. And I fully expected to have gained weight in that week. And I got home and stepped on the scale, used my Transform the whole time I was there. But I got home, I stepped on the scale, and I was actually the exact same weight when I returned that I was the day that I left, which is very unusual. I wasn't inflamed. I wasn't bloated. I hadn't gained any weight, which was huge. I could continue. I've since lost, I've been home for 2 weeks, and I've since lost a couple more pounds, but, but to not have gained weight while I was on vacation and not have to worry about counting every carb was really a nice change of pace. So there's another story in terms of success. And I have many, many more of those. But if you're interested in this as a tool to add to the other things that you're doing, please reach out. We'll have one of our team members talk with you about whether or not this is a good fit for you. I look forward to working with you, as does our whole entire team at Bedrock Nutrition. And drop in the comments insulin if you want more information.